I was in IB at a jam called Return of the B-Boy, which
Mm-hmm.
was pretty cool outdoor and everything. And I was invited.
Mm-hmm.
So I was, I think, with Focus and Kid Glide dancing. And then one guy was dancing at the same time as me, like because we came at the same moments inside the Surfer. And then he was like, say, fuck you, man. Okay, dance. I dance after. Yeah. He started talking to me. He said, yeah, you have to come to Circle Kingz one day. You will understand. And I was like, what? You joking? And then Focus started to laugh, and everybody started to laugh. So after I call him out straight up, after he finished, I danced. I say, man, you're the biggest sucker ever. You've never been to Circle King, so shut the fuck up. And you know why? I stood up and because I am the Circle Kings.
All right, so we're here with the legendary Amjad.
What up?
real, real honor to have you here on the podcast. Thank you so much for taking the time to do this and share all your knowledge and experience. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Yes, cool.
Yeah,
I'm really down. Looking forward. I try to
yeah,
find the right position.
yeah. So for anyone that doesn't know, Amjad is co-founder of $7, founder of Circle Kings and Concrete Jam, two of the kind of legendary jams. At least Circle Kings is super legendary, and Concrete Jam is the newer one, right?
Yeah,
Newish one.
newer, like maybe it's the 13 years now.
Okay, not new at all.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's less appealing to people because it's outdoor.
Mm.
People break on the concrete. Some people are not ready to be that real.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. So I want to get into that later, but for anyone who maybe doesn't know who you are, do you mind just going into a little bit of background on
Yeah,
yourself?
so
Like,
um I started breaking in 98, but I was already in the hip hop world through basketball.
mm-hmm,
So I was playing a lot, and then I was also doing skateboard, and there was always Run DMC and rap music during street balls games that we
mm-hmm,
were competing. And then at some point, I switched to breaking because basketball was it was not as good as when I was younger. When you
mm,
go to the adult team, then it's more pressure, more like whack stuff to do, like eating with people you don't like. Before you were winning with your friends, and now you're with adults. So it wasn't that fun. So I switched to breaking
mm,
and graffiti and all the hip hop elements, and then it really fits me because I'm a artistic guy. So
mm-hmm,
it was cool to dig deep into those elements because basketball you can be creative, it's super
mm-hmm,
fun, but it's still really sport oriented.
mm.
And
Yeah.
then after we were all with the same people all the time from when I was really young at school. So I knew my crewmates from when I was 13, 14 years old.
This
And
is
then
$7.
yeah, exactly. We
Wow.
we practiced together, but before we were doing skateboards. Then we had a huge place where we had beds and a PlayStation and a floor to break and a trampoline and all that stuff. And then we weren't really serious about one thing. We were just having fun doing many things. And
Mm-hmm,
then with the years, we became more and more focused with breaking.
mm-hmm,
So actually, we founded the crew with the name only after 2000, but we were already together practicing having fun before. So
mm-hmm.
So the name and the crew became later. Just before we were just nothing, just a bunch of friends. It was a crew without a name,
Mm, yeah.
if
But
you know
that's
what I mean.
like a real kind of real crew. That's like your
Ah, yeah,
friends,
of
you
course.
know?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
we were going on surf trip together and going graffiti and parties and everything, you know. And after we moved together in the same flat, so it was the $7 crib. So it's really a tight crew, and we were like, we never, oh, we need this guy in our crew because he has power. It
Right,
was
right.
more like, oh, it's so cool. We feel like he's a brother now. So when you feel one guy is a brother, then he becomes part of the crew.
Yeah, yeah. That's like yeah, kind of the real essence of a crew, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the difference between crew and team. You know, team
Mm-hmm.
they assemble to win something for a goal,
Mm.
and a real crew is more like I got your back for life.
Yeah.
You got my back for life, and I keep follow your art now. Even my like Cash lives in Sweden. Some other members lives in other places.
Mm-hmm.
We still maintain contact and share because we have the same roots. You know,
Mm-hmm.
inside.
Yeah. What's the background behind like the name $7?
Ah, that's the just the toy movie, you know, like Breaking 84
Mm.
with
Okay.
Turbo and Ozone.
Yeah, yeah.
So we had in our place that we rented, we had many movies, you know,
Mm-hmm.
because we were before the internet era. We needed to have some tapes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we had the Radiotron tape. We had and every time we go to a jam, one guy has to buy one tape. So we had the Storm tape. And then one guy found, oh, I have this tape Breaking 84. So I watched it, and there's this famous scene where Turbo and Ozone are in the dance studio, and
Mm-hmm.
they start dancing with the girls and breaking, which is totally our style. And then the the studio owner comes and say, "Hey, you bunch of monkeys with your your monkey dance, just go away." And the guy say, Turbo said, "You owe me $7, man." What for? And then all the girls look, "Oh, what for?" And then he goes back in the moonwalk to teach you how to dance, sucker. And we were like, "Wow, shit!" And because we were dancing and other crews or other groups were doing breakdance, so we were like, "Oh, show me that! Yeah, I can give you $7 to teach you how to dance." And then always saying
Right.
that sentence, and then it becomes the, "Oh man, $7 crew. Okay, perfect. Let's go."
Yeah. I think that's some kind of like something that's sort of lost these days is that sort of I don't know, like the attitude from the 80s and the 70s and it just doesn't really exist so much now.
Yeah, I think it exists in some underground
Yeah,
parts,
some
but
places, yeah.
it depends who teach you how to break. You know,
Mhm.
we were lucky that the guy that teach us how to break was into hip hop, like German hip hop. You know,
Mhm.
and German hip hop means like graffiti, means dress fresh, means
Mhm.
like it's different roots. But if you like the kids of my city now, they are into those elements because we teach them.
Mhm.
But if you have a break dancer teaching you moves, and just like, okay, we go to practice, we stretch, we break, and you go home,
Mhm.
then of course it becomes their base, you know.
Mhm.
So it depends who teach who, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a really important point. Like culture and
Yeah,
passing on tradition.
exactly.
Yeah, for
Not
sure.
through YouTube tutorials, but more to living humans, you know. Like, okay,
Yeah.
we practice, then we go to the lake to swim, then we go drink a beer and eat pizza and talk about many subjects.
Yeah, that's something that I want to ask you about later is like just the importance of, like culture and promoting the culture side of hip hop and that kind of thing. But while we're kind of on your background, I want to ask you a little bit about like Switzerland, Switzerland breaking hip hop history and like, who were the people that inspired you or what were the things that inspired you, that kind of thing. And you can also talk about maybe even the European scene if that is also
Yeah, I think that we
applicable.
were super lucky that Switzerland is in the middle of Europe.
Hmm.
So we're in the middle of three good countries, like France, Italy, and Germany. And when Rocksteady started their Euro tour, they were in Paris. They stayed long, and then in the UK and in Germany. And then those three countries with Italy was really strong, when Breaking arrived in 82. So they were already good. And where is the meeting point for all those three countries? Switzerland,
Right.
because it's in the middle. So we had this place called La Coupole de Bienne, where all those people like Maurizio from France, Storm from Germany, Actual Force from France, they were coming to Switzerland to because we were organizing good stuff.
Hmm.
So we witnessed that. I witnessed some ciphers with Maurizio, Swift Rock, Storm, um, and it was like, okay, this is shit. Okay, I understand what it is. Because when the people used to come to those jams, they took the train, they were bombing everywhere. It's like just destroy the city.
Hmm.
And that's the environment that we had. And when Storm used to come to the jam, he had tapes, so we were dealing tapes like VHS just to get some knowledge, and we were ready to travel because we were so hungry for knowledge. You take the car, go like super far away, just because we this one guy is here for 1 week and we want to speak to him and dance with him, and so we can learn a bit. It was more like chasing information and knowledge than anything, back then.
Hmm.
And so the people that influence us is uh I would say the European scene is Swift Rock has major impact with his tape.
Right.
Storm, of course, the footwork
Yeah.
essentials
Yeah.
section
Yeah.
that now when you see is like because like we spend so much time watching it.
Right.
And also Radiotron, the battle, Renegades versus Style
Right.
Element.
Right. The checkered floor, kind of. Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly.
Everyone knows that one. Yeah.
Still to this day, when we see the check throws like Radiotron floor, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's what everyone calls it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I always heard about, like in the US, it blew up in the 80s and then it died out. And then, but during that time, it went over to Europe and Asia. And it was really like, in particular, a lot of the European dancers that kind of kept it alive and allowed it to kind of like be reborn in the US or become cool again in the US. Like
My
Storm was
social
one of the essential
my
people for
social
that, right?
analysis is that the US were the arrow of style, so
Mm-hmm.
but they always have to do something different
Mm.
because everything is played out fast
Mm.
in the US.
Mm-hmm.
But in Europe, we are more about the culture. So when
Mm-hmm.
something you really like, okay, I go deep and I stay. This is my lifestyle for life.
Hmm.
So actually, we are more like the glue, and we are more like the US are more discovering new stuff,
Hmm.
and then okay, oh, now I've seen it. What's next? But we are not like this. When we
Hmm.
like something, we keep it true to ourselves, and we don't wanna we stick to that. So that's why when it arrived in Europe, it never died. Like there's always some phase like this,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
they were super strong at it because they thought also in the US they were strong. And when they came back, Storm and Swift, they were in New York, and then Crazy Legs was giving classes in fitness, and there was only a few people like Quick Step and a few others, but really, really a few. Everybody was like, "Oh, the trend is over. It's
Mm-hmm.
out. I don't want to be
Mm-hmm.
played out."
Yeah. Like, I think that's a really accurate way of thinking, looking at the history. Like,
Yeah,
US is very, what's next? Innovate, find the
yeah,
new thing, find the new cool trend.
yeah.
But you
And
can
we
see it. You can see it with like even just European architecture, and there's such a strong history in Europe, that goes back like thousands of years. And I know the history in North America, US is not the same, but it's a lot younger.
Yeah,
But I see what you mean. Yeah.
yeah.
Um, yeah, I wanna talk to you about since we're talking about just origins and history and stuff. I really want to ask you about like the origins of Circle Kingz, and after that, Concrete Jam. Yeah, how that got
So
started.
did you see the origin of what?
Of Circle Kingz.
The okay, okay, yeah. Actually, so we with my crew we started to dance more and more, and we were like, okay, now we are ready to compete, but we took us like 4 or 5 years practicing before we were like, okay, I want to dance. And then when we were able to start a dance, when we go to competition or jams, we're like, oh fuck, I don't like who is winning, you know? I think they are fucking whack. They have no style. I don't like it. And we were disappointed to many events. And there was two options: or you quit breaking
Mm-hmm.
because you don't feel like it's appealing anymore,
Mm-hmm.
or you did what I did. I said to my crew, oh fuck, if I do a jam, it's gonna be the perfect jam, you know, because I know everything what they do wrong, you know, and I will do the best one. You talk, so you just do it. Okay, I'm gonna do it. So I link with the guy that has a like organization, and I said, okay, I want to do this, and I did it. I did Circle Kingz, which was the exact event that I wanted to attend.
Mm-hmm.
So actually, I did everything I do because it was lacking, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I invite a Rock City crew, which was actually Skill Methods, Technique, and Luigi, from all the cool guys that never wins before.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, they were the best, you know, because my favorites always lose in quarterfinal, semifinal, or
Yeah, yeah,
whatever because of those judges, you know. And who is winning? Oh shit, it's people I don't like, you know.
yeah,
They are good moves, but no grooves, no charisma, no
yeah,
style, no.
yeah, yeah.
So I choose the judge carefully, and I said, "Oh, what do I like in jams? Yeah, I like the before battles, you know, when the people just dance for free. So I'm gonna last this for a long time, you know, make it last for a really long time, so people can really have fun.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a basic 2-on-2 because I wanted to write a crew and not one-on-one. So with my budget, the best to have a crew is two people. Like this, you only have two flights. I choose November because the flights were super cheap because it's in between the season.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I hate November. I'm a sunny guy, you know, or really winter. But the in
Mm-hmm.
between, I hate it. Oh, if I do a jam in November, then maybe November is going to become cool, maybe. So I did it, and the first edition was sold out. Like people had to wait for people to leave to get in, and because I was raised in the VHS tape, so I said, okay, we have to do a DVD. So we did a DVD, and then it just exploded from there because
Mm-hmm.
many people were feeling the same as me, but they did nothing, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So oh yeah, this jam is the real because I feel those guys are the truth, you know, like the guys that were in semifinal, in final, and everything. And many of the b-boys there, they blew up because before they were like regular people, and they became star after Circle Kingz because it was a major platform for them to showcase themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So I did this for many years. I tried to change all the time to make it perfect. My goal was always looking for the perfect jam, like the South Sonic Force, looking for the perfect
Yeah,
beats.
yeah.
But me, it was perfect jam. And then at some point, I realized that if I go deep inside me, I want hip hop to be outdoor because breaking started in the streets. Then we put it back in studios and on stage. And I think it's way more pure when you took it back to the streets. So I was like, I need to do an outdoor jam, you know?
Mm-hmm.
with graffiti, with live band, with okay. And I started the Concrete Jam in 2008 or nine, something like this.
Mm-hmm.
So I had the two jam in parallel, and actually I was almost starting to like more the outdoor jam
Hmm.
because I feel it's pure to dance with the sky is the roof.
Hmm.
And at some point I felt like my goal was reach with Circle Kingz, because now the people that I made the focus on were invited everywhere. They start winning jam because judging changed their standards, and many people were starting to do the same with the same guest that I have. So I was
Hmm.
like, okay, mission complete. Now I can close the chapter. Like Flomo won 3 times, and I said to myself when I started, okay, the first one to win 3 times after I'm done, you know.
Hmm.
So it was perfect ending. And my last message to the world with Circle Kingz was at the end when, instead of having a competition in the ciphers, I took people to make exhibition battles.
Yeah, the last one you did that, right?
Exactly, because I don't think breaking should be judged.
Mm-hmm.
I think breaking should be appreciated for what it is, but you will never have a competition in a museum. Oh, let's do Van Gogh versus Picasso. Let's go.
Yeah.
You
How can
just
you judge
go,
it?
you watch, and you're like, oh shit, I like it. Or,
Yeah.
I like this, you know.
Yeah.
So I just do showcase battle, and in those showcase battle, the two crews that stood out was Flomo and Roughneck Attack. So I made a last exhibition with them, and I was talking to the crew, and I was like, man, we shouldn't say there's one guy that one crew that won or the others. They both won, you know. It's like the message is like, who do you think win? Ah, yeah, so he win, no problem. You don't need judges to tell you what you should like,
Mm-hmm.
because you shouldn't like the winner. You should like the people that you like, you know.
Yeah.
So that was my message, but nobody did it.
That's
There's still competition.
yeah. But I think I'm speaking from my own experience. Like seeing, I'm I'm unlucky that I never actually got the chance to go to Circle Kingz, but I know a bunch of people that did, and I always checked out the battles, and it was a huge inspiration on us and our crew, and I think even Rory and our crew through Circle Prince qualifier in Vancouver. So
Yeah,
we got to kind of experience at least some sense of what Circle Kingz is like, and after doing that, seeing that kind of prelim, the way that it works, there's no way that you should do it any other way. Like that's the only
yeah.
way to do a prelim.
But it's funny because at some point I had 23 countries doing qualifier,
Mm,
so it was like almost a huge empire,
mm,
uh, like the Red Bull BC1 ciphers before the Red Bull BC1 ciphers, you know.
mm-hmm.
But it's funny that after nobody kept this format. Ah, let's do cipher qualification and then let's battle, you know.
Yeah.
Because many people they ask me, oh, can I do this? But I don't want to bite. I say, yeah, man, bite. You have to bite what's good. It's not. It's just organization, you know. It's not a move that I create, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But it never really, nobody
It
does
never
it
caught
anymore.
on, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And
I
actually, when you watch prelims, it's super boring to watch prelims.
yeah. Yeah.
So now I make people pay to do prelims. Like they have to pay $7. And they're like, maybe I'm not ready. I don't do it because it's our time to. You have to watch this shit, you know, like
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
crews do the prelims for
Yeah.
nothing, you know. And
Mm-hmm.
for them, this generation now, for my time, if I do prelims, I'm ready.
Mm-hmm.
I have a chance to go far. But if I'm not ready, it's a shame to do prelims. But it changed. I think maybe in 2010, people were like, I did the prelims, check my round, and it was a pride, you know? And that makes the jam longer. boring, and people are tired, you know. So if
Yeah.
you kept the qualification in the ciphers, then it's okay, you know. Like the WAC crews, you watch them, okay, ugly, okay. Oh, this guy is good. Ah, this guy is good, and then finally it's okay, you know.
Yeah, it's efficient because
Yeah,
everyone's
it's
going at the
efficient.
same time.
It's super efficient.
Yeah. Yeah. The only drawback that I ever saw with it is like because the judges were secret, right? At least in the beginning.
No,
No,
yeah,
people know who they
I,
are.
I didn't want people to I want people to be free. So
Hmm.
to free them, it's better if they don't know who the judges are. But
Yeah.
if you are a bit clever, you knew it was all the $7 were the judges. You know,
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah.
like there was no real secret.
Yeah. Like people can still game the system, and if they know the judges, who the judges are, they won't dance unless the judges are there. But I think
Exactly.
in general, with that format, it just encourages people to just get down and have
Yeah,
fun, like you
exactly.
said.
Yeah, and when you have like real prelims,
Hmm.
so you go to the jam with your backpack, then you put your knee pads on, you stretch. Oh, they call my name. You go, you do one round, you shit yourself in your pants. Then, oh, we're not qualified. So you everything, all the trips for one round.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's super whack.
Yeah.
So if you go and you have Cypher prelims, then you have chance to dance a lot. You meet people, you check styles, and you have more chance. More rounds mean more chance to warm up, get good, and more chance to showcase yourself to the judges.
Hmm.
And even if you lose, you're happy, you know,
Yeah,
because you
exactly.
dance a lot.
Yeah. I think it's a great system that I really
Yeah,
wish that more people would pick it up. But
yeah, me
I
too.
would I did go to one jam in Japan where they did that style,
Yeah,
and it was the best, one of the best jams that I've been to in Japan.
yeah,
Yeah. But like you said, it's people get a chance to dance for whatever, however many hours it is that you do the
yeah.
prelim.
It was I don't know, around three,
Yeah.
four
Right.
hours,
Yeah.
and you don't need to dance all the time. But
Yeah.
if you have an impact and people like, it's easy to see, you know, like because when the cipher get thicker, it means there's
Hmm.
good people, you know.
Hmm.
So the cipher was there's nobody, you don't really need to check, you know.
Yeah. And it's hard for people who have never been in those kind of situations or been in those kind of circles, ciphers, to understand like there's an energy that you feel when you step up, even if you're just watching it. It's
Exactly.
it's an incredible feeling. And then if you have the skills and the confidence to go in and test yourself in that environment, you know it's it's like a drug almost sometimes. you just
Yeah,
want to
yeah,
you just
yeah,
want to
it
keep doing it
is.
more and
but
more.
but you know, even my message got taken wrong, because in 2008 people start to be aggressive. Like they were like, oh, I have to dance in the cipher to be cool, you know.
Hmm.
And I realized, oh fuck, I destroyed the cipher that I like, because before only people who liked were ciphering,
Hmm.
and no, even the toys they wanted to cipher because it was cool.
Yeah.
So I witnessed some people pushing around. There was no cipher etiquette, you know, because they were not born in those ciphers.
Hmm.
It was new to them, and they think they have to be cocky,
Yeah.
or throw some dicks all the times, and dance two people together and
That's the worst.
dancing all over. So I had to, in 2008, it was a bit boring. I had to stop the music like maybe four times. Say, okay, guys, the judging also watch your behavior in the cipher, you know. So keep calm, no problem. Just
Hmm.
dance for fun. And if you push people or anything, you not gonna be taken on the
Hmm.
next round, you know.
Yeah.
So I
I,
kind of destroyed the cipher at some point,
mhm.
and then it became good again in 2010, you know.
Yeah. I think like sometimes maybe that's a a product of your own success that it became so popular. You started attracting a lot more different people and different skill levels, and they hear about it, and it,
Yeah.
you know,
You
pros
know,
and
you
cons,
know
I
what
guess.
happened to me in IB? I was in IB at a jam called Return of the B-Boy,
Mm-hmm.
which was pretty cool outdoor and everything. And I was invited.
Mm-hmm.
So I was, I think, with Focus and Kid Glide dancing. And then one guy was dancing at the same time as me, like because we came at the same moments inside the surfer. And then he was like, say, fuck you, man. Okay, dance. I dance after. Yeah. He started talking to me. He said, yeah, you have to come to Circle Kingz one day. You will understand. And I was like, what? You joking? And then Focus started to laugh, and everybody started to laugh. So after I call him out straight up, after he finished, I danced. I say, man, you're the biggest sucker ever. You've never been to Circle King, so shut the fuck up. And you know why? I stood up and because I am the Circle Kings. And he was like, what do you mean? I'm the fucking organizer, man. How can you tell me I have to go to Circle Kings to learn when you start pushing people?
Yeah, yeah.
And he was like, oh, sorry, man. I was like, yeah,
But
shit.
that's a lesson he's never gonna forget. Hopefully.
Yeah, but imagine how I feel. My whole message
Yeah,
has
yeah.
been taken wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
So, if you don't mind, for people who don't know, can you do just a really, really quick breakdown of what is like a cipher etiquette to you? Really, really basic.
Basic. First, dress fresh.
Yeah.
Second, don't kick anybody. So try to control yourself. And you just is never two people at the same time. Respect your guy. When he's done, it's okay. You can go. But if two guys step up at the same time, they don't need to up rock or jump all over. You just one step out and then okay, I go next. No problem.
Yeah.
Because in the cipher, there's only place for one,
Mm-hmm.
and the one that goes, it's not the best. It's just like okay, I go after. You can go first, no problem.
Yeah.
It's just a sharing moment. And if you battle somebody, you have to battle him clearly, and then you never jump in the cipher before you know what's up, because cipher it's in own world.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes we cipher top rock, and one guy come, then straight up on the floor. You're like, yo, man, what'd you do? We
Yeah.
were, it was a top rock cipher, but so when you come to a cipher, you just check a few rounds to see the vibe, what's going on, is there a battle, can I go? You have to wait to be approved by the people around, like the little nod, like, yeah, man, what's up? And
Yeah.
then you can go.
Yeah.
So it's all about understanding what's this cipher is all about, and then just respect everybody on it. And if somebody you don't like because he's acting stupid, you just change cipher.
Yeah.
So usually there's a cipher history. It's pretty funny. First, usually there's the $7 because we always create our own cipher. Then people, cool guys, say, "Oh, there's a cipher," so they come. It's super dope, and then people realize the toys that there's something going on there, so they come. They start doing one whack round, two whack rounds. So the cool people they left, and the toys they don't even realize they stay, and then the cool guys create another one. So it's always like moving.
Right. Right.
Because if you have the magic cipher with only like dope guys, then there's like a super energy that vibe a lot, and one guy can destroy it, or a kid, or a drunk
Mm-hmm.
guy or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Those
And
are
kid,
those are the special ones though, that they just kind of
yeah,
start off on the side, and uh, it's not like it hasn't blown up yet. It's like those who know. But
yeah,
like I think, isn't it like, I think it was Ken Swift talking about like dark circles. They're just kind of like off on the side. It's not the main thing. It's not the main
yeah,
stage. It's just something off to the side. It's like 4 or 5 people or something, and then just
yeah,
vibing out kind of thing.
yeah,
Yeah, those are the special ones.
yeah. But the problem is that nowadays, like the teachers, they have good intentions, saying to their students, "Yeah, go dance in the cipher."
Hmm.
So I witnessed now kids that when I was their age, I was so scared, but they just go with confidence and throw digs to adults like it's a cool thing. And you like now the kids they destroy the cipher for me.
Yeah, but that's still bad teaching, right? If they're teaching the kids, it's okay to like throw dicks at people.
Intention, but bad results. Yes.
Yeah,
One important thing is that on the rules that I didn't say is that if the cipher is too high level, you just don't go.
yeah. Well, it's like you said, you gotta read the circle, right? And if you take the time to kind of just
Yeah, exactly.
sit and watch, it's okay. There's nothing wrong with that, you know. Yeah.
Exactly.
Hmm.
And if you watch ciphers before footage, people were sometimes sitting. There's one round, they applaud, and then he left, and then 2 seconds after, okay, I go. It wasn't the rush. It wasn't. There was a mutual respect, and like, oh, people were clapping. There was something.
Hmm. Yeah.
And
I,
it changed.
hmm I think I always think that one of the best ways to think about a circle is just think of it like conversation, right? It's like you don't interrupt someone when they're talking. You have to know what they're talking about to join it, right?
Yeah,
It's
yeah, it's a good way to see it.
yeah, I think yeah. Um, but yeah, just thinking about Circle Kings and how you stopped it, you know, I I think that's so cool that you stopped it when it was still like on a high and it never, there's some like TV shows or movie series and they just keep it going because they want to keep making money, but then you see it just like starts to get really shitty and you know.
Yeah, many dope jams that I used to go,
Mhm.
they were all like this at some point.
Mhm.
And then I thought to myself, James Dean is a fucking legend because he died young. Marilyn Monroe, same. Bob Marley. If Bob Marley was here alive now, it wouldn't be the same. I think
Mhm.
to become a
Maybe.
legend, you have to die
Hmm.
tragically. So I was like, I'm gonna kill Circle Kings. And people were like, "You crazy, man! Like you have qualification in 23 countries. Like everybody wants to go." And say, "Yeah, that's the point. If I
Mhm.
want people to talk about Circle Kings like 20 years after,
Yeah.
I need to stop it." And actually, I liked it because it was for a certain era. It was for b-boys that were, like active during 2005 to 2012.
Mhm.
You witness it, and it's for them.
Yeah.
Like if I do a jam now, Circle Kings, and none of my friends comes, but only new people that I don't know, it's less the same, because we all grew up together with all those crews, like Hustle
Mhm.
Kids, Flomo, all those crews that were always coming because they were feeling it was the right jam to go.
Yeah.
And it's cool that it was just for us, for that generation, and now it's gone.
Yeah.
If you missed it, you missed it.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, there's a there's something to be said about that
Yeah,
like impermanent kind of stuff. It's beautiful because it's not forever, right? Yeah,
exactly.
yeah, yeah. I respect
And
that.
I'm not against doing one more Circle Kings
All right.
one day, but
When the
it's
time is
like
right, right?
the time is right. It's like Batman, when the scene needs it,
Yeah,
they're gonna
yeah,
throw in the clouds, like the Circle King sign, like
yeah, yeah.
please help.
And that's one thing that I always appreciated too. Is like the I don't know who made it, if it was you or someone in your crew or whatever, but like the promos and stuff that you guys made. There was one where you used like some scene from Troy, I think it was, and you're just talking about, yeah, it was like setting the scene for how like epic this jam is or something, the history or whatever, and you did like little voiceovers like to replace
Yeah,
certain parts. Yeah, it was
yeah, yeah.
hilarious. Yeah.
It's
And the
funny
little
because
promos and stuff too that you did.
yeah, I did all the promos.
Yeah.
But I watch because I really love movie scenes, and when I watched this movie from Troy, I was like, it fits perfectly for Circle Kings.
Hmm.
If you go there, you will become a legend, but you might never come back. So it's
Yeah.
like he has to die to be a legend. He's like, no. And I led that was the beginning of the trailer. Usually the trailer has to go fast and give like images,
Mm.
and I let this scene like for 46 seconds.
Yeah.
People were like, "You fucking crazy man!" I said, "Yeah, but have you listened?" Of course not. I went straight to the breaking. Ah man, shut the fuck up.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
But
I'm
that's
happy
like
you watched the whole thing.
that's the kind of stuff that like I think is missing from breaking is like the some people have it like with the character and the story and the yeah like building a legend around something or whatever like that's a huge part of anything
Huge.
that like I tell a lot of people who listen to this podcast, people, the guests and stuff, I always tell them like I love pro wrestling. I grew up on pro wrestling and like you know the modern wrestling now is like a big criticism is people just do moves and there's no character, there's no personality, there's no story going on in the ring, and it's really hard for people to get invested in something, in the story, in the characters, in the wrestlers, if they don't have any like personality, if they don't have anything to like follow, some journey that they're going on. It's the reason why we like movies and books and things
Yeah,
like that. You get invested in it, and it's the same like that's what your jam did. It was like telling this kind of story of what you wanted out of a jam, I guess, in a simple
because
way.
every year it was Circle Kings, but there was a small name on it.
Hmm. Yeah,
So
yeah,
so when I did all the Cypher qualification, I called it the I don't remember what I called it, but there was the King's Return for
yeah,
second edition,
yeah.
the Cypher, the Kingdom. What I don't know. I
Something
don't
like,
remember.
but yeah, you had like it was like a series, right?
Yeah, and the last one was something how to become legendary,
Nice.
and that was done. So it was
Yeah,
all as movies exactly.
yeah.
That's how you build a story,
Hmm.
and some people they didn't even check, but for me it was important to do that.
Yeah. Like again, like I really think that's what's missing in the scene, and you know why for me personally, like I don't care if people want to make Olympics and stuff like that and make it more sport and athletic and things like that. Okay, that can be the athletic breaking, but I like the cultural side, the kind of like, not so serious and goofy and doing things and playful, and it has that same sort of spirit as like what I understand breaking started of is like, kids made it, right?
Yeah,
And
exactly.
yeah, it's like I like that kind of stuff of like
But that's why also
yeah.
I keep doing the concrete jam, because now there's all this I would like to stop
Hmm.
actually, but I can't stop for the scene,
Hmm.
because now it's so much sport oriented
Hmm.
that if I quit, I will I will quit the boat that is sinking.
Yeah.
So I have to keep it alive, to try to make a balance between big competition and sport oriented and small jams.
Hmm.
And I'm a perfect example for that, because I'm a bit the voice of the underground because
Hmm.
of Circle Kings and Concrete Jam, but I'm also host for Red Bull BC1 World Final and
Hmm.
WDSF. So, and I help them develop their own thing,
Hmm.
trying to bring the culture in.
Hmm.
But I'm on these both sides. So
Yeah.
I can't leave
Hmm.
organizing the Concrete Jam
Yeah.
for the scene.
But that's important to have your voice in that sort of space, right? The
Yeah,
WDF, or whatever it is. and all that stuff. Like they need like all those voices coming together, and the best ideas will kind of surface to the top. But yeah, you need to have those discussions,
That's
and
the
yeah,
theory.
that's the theory. Yeah, yeah, yeah. True, true. But yeah, I wanted to talk about, yeah, you host a lot of events, but I noticed, like, you know, you won't host anything. You're kind of maybe selective of what you decide to be a part of, and
Yes, of
a
course.
lot of the stuff that you're a
I
part of.
refuse.
Yeah.
I refuse two host gig per month
Mm.
because yeah, we do this competition in France, blah blah blah. I'm like, no way, man, no way, no. Ah, oops. Oh, sorry, I have a family thing. I can't. I'm sorry. So and I have a family. So with my girl, because I think many b-boys have the same problem as my is when you have a family, you can't always get out, you know.
Yeah, that's true.
So I came out with this Joker thing. I have 8 Joker, 6 Joker to take during the year, you know, where I can go abroad and spend the weekend.
Right.
So I really have to choose carefully where
Mm-hmm.
I go because I only have 6, you know,
Yeah.
to go abroad.
Mm-hmm.
So I need to be like a super jam with a cool friends judge, and I know it's they're gonna have parties, and I can make graffiti somewhere, and then, okay, I go.
Mm-hmm.
But I have to refuse so many things.
Yeah, but I think, just as a outsider, seeing these jams and stuff, and having experienced a few of them, like, it's almost like, if you're there, it's like, oh, it's got the Amjad seal of approval kind of thing, like certified cool kind of thing,
I like that shit, man.
But
Yeah,
like, I noticed that there was just, yeah, like a certain vibe to the jams that you would be hosting at, or that you would attend. So it was like,
yeah,
the Real Deal jam. You were involved in that, and um, what is that one in France? Hip Hop Session, and the one in Singapore, Radical Force, and things like that. It's like they're trying to stay true as much as they can to the culture, to hip hop, to breaking, to these things and stuff. Even
yeah,
if it's like competition focused, but
yeah.
yeah.
But I am who I am, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So with the time, I could build this character and this fame where people know if I go, I don't go to anything. So it should be good. And even in Japan, they hired me to come, and I was like, "Yo, but the Japanese, they don't speak English." Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, but no problem. You just have to be there. But they won't understand me. Yeah, but you just say, "Oh shit." They just want to hear, "Oh shit." No problem.
Now they
I was like, "What?"
understand that.
Yes, they understand that. But I was like, "It's crazy. They just want me to be there just
Yeah.
for as a I don't know. I don't know what, but not for hosting because they don't understand, you know?
Like, yeah, it's sort of like, I don't know the word, but I know what you mean.
No, no, you know
Yeah.
what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah, hopefully everyone knows what I mean. But it's
No,
like,
but
it's sort of that stamp of approval, even if it's the prestige of, like, Amjad is
yeah,
here, everyone knows him, and he has this reputation. So if he's at our jam, like, it means this. And,
yeah,
you know, maybe, I don't know, Japan can sometimes have a little bit of things with, like,
yeah, yeah, no.
presentation and image is important too. So
Yeah.
I don't know, but I'm sure the jam was fun, hopefully.
Jam was dope. It was a vibe out. Really cool
Oh,
jam in
okay.
Japan, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Nice.
And there was Fleo was there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice. Nice.
Fleo, Chizo, and other cool guests.
Cool, cool. Yeah.
So it was really oriented Circle King's style, you know?
Oh, that's nice.
If you know what I mean, because there's always this battle between breakdancers and b-boys, and
Yeah.
who's cool, who's not.
Yeah, yeah, for
And
sure.
it's funny because even in Europe, I never see some people they are in tour A, you know, so they are always busy in Tour A, which is the big competition sport oriented.
Mm-hmm.
And me, I'm always busy with Tour B, you know,
Mm-hmm.
with the Flow More Anniversary, uh, Roughneck Attack Anniversary, Real
Yeah, yeah,
Deal,
yeah, yeah.
Move On Up Jam, or whatever, you
Mm-hmm.
know.
Yeah,
So yeah, these people, I never see them. They are not on the same circuit as me, you know.
yeah. But I think that's almost okay. Like, some people talk about, well, we gotta evolve the thing, and sometimes that's true. It's maybe gotta evolve into something else, and it's just not, you know, breaking anymore. It's dance sport. Sure, go ahead, do that.
Yeah, but I was in Russia for the European WDSF Championship. It was
Mm-hmm.
super dope.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
Like it depends how people decide to go about it, right?
yeah, exactly. So now what's important is that who organized the WDSF events.
Mm-hmm. True.
So I did one in Budapest for the World Urban Games.
Mm-hmm.
So there was no logo on the dance floor. There was a live band. There was parties and
Yeah.
like a massive success. And
Mm-hmm.
everybody was like, "Oh, that was dope." But it could also be like in China where it was on a stadium on a big stage with no vibes, you know.
Yeah.
So it all goes down to the organizer. That's why it's so important. The organizer has no meaning in the hip hop history
Mm-hmm.
because it happened naturally at parties,
Mm-hmm.
but it became super important in mid 90s till now, you know,
Mm-hmm.
because they had massive power because who you choose as a judge
Yeah.
will orient the whole scene, you know, in one direction or another.
Mm-hmm.
And you see so many of those organizers becoming judge sometimes, you know, like oh yeah, I keep involved in the scene, I do this, I do that, I even start DJ and everything, and they kind of control where it's going.
Mm-hmm.
So the scene really need dope fair organizer that leads the scene where in a place where old school people would be proud it's going, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I always try to see my breaking and everything. If people that did it before don't like what I do, I'm not doing it right, you know. So I have to have the approval from the elders.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Respecting tradition, right?
Yeah, trying to involve, but in the
Mm-hmm.
direction they like, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I practiced in 2005 in Brooklyn with Burn One and Ken Swift, and
Mm-hmm.
Burn One comes to me say, "Yo, man, your baby is wrong." He's like, "Oh no, my baby phrase is wrong." Then yeah, you can keep doing like this, but people like me will never like it and will think you're a toy. Say, okay, show me how to do the baby phrase.
Yeah.
And then he said this. I say, okay, cool, thanks, man. Because for me, I didn't say, oh, fuck you, breaking. There's no rule. I do what I want.
Mm-hmm.
My goal is always like I need the approval from the elder,
Mm-hmm.
but I want to involve it in like the brand new old school style. You know,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
for them to be like, okay, I like where you're going. You know.
Mm-hmm. Well, this is something that we talk a lot about on the podcast. Is like that. You know, there's different generations and stuff like this, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s. Now there's like 2010 getting into 2020s, right? That's like, what is that, 40, 50, almost 50 years or something, 40 years of breaking. And every generation is kind of different, right? But there's always like a sort of essence and like a ism that carries on through those generations, and that's the job of all these dancers, to figure that out, but then do it in your own way
Yeah.
that's relevant to the times. But as long as you keep that sort of yeah, essence.
but I'm a bit disappointed with the scene now because
Mm-hmm.
if I check with the time,
Mm-hmm.
first B-boy had dope style, but they like few moves. They were not on the music.
Mm-hmm.
Music was just like a motivation for the ear, but they were not really on the music if you check the footage.
Mm-hmm.
Then after it was you have to be on the beats, on the rhythm. Okay. And then 10 years later it was like, oh, you have to be musical. Okay, so I have to have musicality. It's not only the rhythm, but it's in between the rhythm I can follow an instrument, so they became really good. And after in 2005 it was bring back the style,
Yeah, yeah.
when my jam was all about. So they start like going too far into like the roots, like foam hats
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah, yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
And then I always predicted that at the end of all those stage, there will be the final one where they master the musicality, the style, foundation, but they are themselves, like
Mm-hmm.
really like individual, really different from each other. And what I see now, like the new generation, I don't want to sound old when I say that, but they really look the same.
Mm.
Like really, there's no character that can really define them. Like the old school guy, they became really different, like Meno and other people like this. But the people that are now 20, they all look the same. Doing the
Mm.
same kind of move. And it's a bit sad that they now that they master all the element that we we focus on the scene now, being on the music, having strong foundation, and after having moved inside your foundation and character inside your foundation that makes you be unique. Now I think when I see some stuff, I'm like, oh fuck, another random lambda dude, like really good,
Yeah, yeah,
but super lambda because I can't really make it unique.
yeah. What do you think is at least partially the cause, or what's
I think it's watching social media where you really see your favorite b-boys all the time,
mm-hmm.
and without wanting, you will be influenced.
Yeah, yeah.
So now if you are on your back, do half a backspin, then spin. Okay, I've seen this too much.
Yeah.
If people started breaking because of art like we did, like being like everybody else is the worst.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be unique.
Mm-hmm.
That's the fucking goal of art, where people say, even with the like the way you dress, it's him. Like Remind or
Mm-hmm.
whoever. There's a whole character from outfits to moves to tops to everything.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's like a big mix, but they are musical. They have moves, but they all do the same moves and dress the same almost.
Yeah.
Like the outfit in didn't really involve. It
Mm.
came almost backwards for me. But as I said on the Focus podcast, I don't know if they care. I was wondering if our opinion is relevant for the new generation, or care because they think we are old and fucked up.
Yeah, yeah.
But I would love to see new people going in their way,
Yeah.
like really like going to their way.
Well, I think,
And I'm sure there is, but not enough.
I think there's a bit of like a trend that's happening with, say, social media, that we're learning a lot about how it works and stuff, and how it influences you and how it can affect you, right? Like YouTube algorithms
Yeah.
showing you all this stuff, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I
yeah.
feel like we're getting to a point where, people might, shut out more and more social media and get back to those, have more opportunities to close themselves off from all this like massive amounts of inspiration and stuff like that. So we'll see how the, you never know what happens in the future, right? Where it's going to go.
Yeah.
But that could be one thing, that there's such an oversaturation of everyone's overexposed on social media, and people just get sick of it. And then there's people who just go into their cave and, you know, don't show up for like 2 years, and then they're like this completely different person or whatever, right? And maybe they're just gonna pop up all over the
That's
place.
what happened with Bounce.
Yeah,
You
he's
know
like,
Bounce?
yeah.
So
He,
he used to be super underground with his footage.
yeah,
Like he never released it. If there's a camera in a Cypher, he start tops. He see the camera. He goes there, he grab the camera, put it on the floor.
yeah,
So that's the time where people were like this before. I remember some French VHS tape that I had where they were dancing, and you see the camera say, "Hey, no, don't record, please, don't record." And
hmm
now it's the opposite. They dance only if you record, you know?
yeah, yeah. I was pretty surprised to see bounces like on social media now.
Me too, man.
That's a it's a weird world for sure.
Yeah, but at some point when you hide yourself for a reason, and when this reason is gone, you know, because so okay, cool. Now I can release my stuff, you know.
Yeah. I mean the legend of bounce is already solidified. We're talking
Exactly.
about that kind of thing, like the
But he could have managing a bit better, man.
maybe, yeah.
Because at some point he was the shadow, and then he teaches some guy that were doing his move all over and over. So they wasted his art, and
Yeah.
Bounce could have no shine, you know, only for the few people that knew him. You know?
But I think in general, uh, his legend
No,
is,
true legend. And when you know the man, he's
yeah,
like incredible dude, you know?
yeah, yeah. One of the weirdest, not weird in a good way, you know.
Yeah,
Lots of character. I'll put it
yeah,
that way.
he's a
Yeah.
character. But that's 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 the main focus now. People don't understand that. I had this idea once. I was watching The Voice or something like this or whatever shows. There was a girl singing not so good, and they were like, "Okay, you take me with you. I want to see you to the next level." And the girl after she sings perfectly, and the guy say, you didn't take me with you, so you stop here. But she was singing better than the first one, and I understood that. It took me like some weeks for thinking, and I understood that when you do an art performance, you have to hypnotize people and take them with you, so they are not in their body anymore. They
Mm-hmm.
are following everything that you do,
Mm-hmm.
and 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 character is a part of that, because there is something that make you want to see, because you see something special, so you forget you're in your own body, you follow exactly, and then when it's over, even if it's whack, you're like, oh shit, I clap,
Yeah. Yeah. I think.
because it's art performance. You
Mm-hmm.
have to hypnotize people,
Mm-hmm.
and hypnotize people comes with being in the present moment, where people really see you are responding to the music. So
Mm-hmm.
if you are 2 seconds in the future or 5 seconds in the future, you top rock and you think, oh, which go down am I gonna do? Oh yeah, and you're always in advance. People, if they see, yeah, he's okay, but I felt nothing, So if you want people to see, young people have to understand that character is the most important.
Mm-hmm.
Showing in your face, in your reaction, that you are in the present moment, it's where you capture the audience.
Yeah.
And people don't care of watching the best. They want to watch people who make them feel something,
Yeah. I think that's really true. You know, and it's not just breaking. It's like anything, right?
Yeah,
A good movie will do that. A good book will do that.
exactly.
A good conversation will do that too. You just don't realize how long it's been or whatever, or what you're talking about. And I think like maybe that's one of the things that makes you a good host too, is like, you help people kind of get on this journey at the jam. It's like at a jam, especially if you're not a dancer, for like general public kind of people, it's sometimes hard to navigate what's going on or just feel like you're a part of that. And I think that's one problem too with breaking, is people who aren't in the scene necessarily, it's hard for them to like really get it, right?
Yeah, I think the role of the host is really undermined,
Mm-hmm.
and having a good host can make a whack jam be really good,
Mm-hmm.
and having a whack host at the really cool jam can destroy it.
Yeah.
So it's super important. And then when I watch The Prince of Bel-Air when I was young, it changed my life forever, you know?
Yeah.
So I became that entertaining guy
Yeah.
at school and everything because I was playing Will Smith's character, you know? So being a host like this, you have to make people have fun
Mm-hmm.
and having a good time, even though it's whack, you know?
Yeah.
And point them the details that they didn't notice that they will laugh or think or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So my style of hosting was trying to entertain the crowd and also give a workshop to the dancers, because there's some stuff you can't do, and I don't care to. I'm not gonna leave of hosting. I'm not gonna leave of organizing jam. That's why I was okay to stop Circle Kingz.
Yeah.
I have a real job.
Yeah.
So I was maybe the first one to, for example, when Flexible Flav, they were dancing at hip hop session.
I literally just watched that video and was
The
gonna
guy
ask
was
you about
putting
that.
paper like this, like this sheeting paper. I was like, man, you can't watch, hide the paper, man. Like, and everybody was like, oh shit, he called him out. He was like Kamel with the reveal, you know,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
on who can roast the most.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I was always like, one guy is dancing, he's finished run. Oh, almost looked like breaking. Like for me to say it wasn't breaking, man,
Yeah, yeah.
or whatever stuff. And I think that's my style, and people enjoyed it while they watch because there's always
Yeah.
this little sentence that's
Yeah,
gonna make them,
it,
shit.
it keeps things like entertaining and just fun. Like, and I think that you can tell just by talking with you and seeing how your jams are and seeing how you host and stuff like that. Like, that's something that you just try and do with everything you do, is like keep it fun, keep it
Yeah,
entertaining, but still serious about the thing that you love, that you enjoy, right?
exactly. Like
Yeah.
super serious about the art,
Hmm.
but the package is funny, you know?
Yeah, yeah. But like that's kind of what that's still to me like part of the hip hop breaking spirit, is it's like a bit playful, it's a bit serious, it's like all of that together, right?
Yeah, it's super serious, but it's for kids at the beginning. And
Mm-hmm.
if you are a b-boy that loves the spirit
Mm-hmm.
and you are super serious in your preparation, in the way you are, then I think the art is going to be less interesting for people to watch, because at the end of the day, it's it's a art, it's a crowd pleasing presentation that we do, you know.
Yeah.
So sometimes I saw a beagle in Russia. I was like, please let me dress you. You can't go like this, and you don't have to change nothing in your breaking, just your facial expression. Because if you are weird, like super tense, people will only watch that, because it's not about the moves. That it's like a like conversation. It's 5% of the word.
Mm-hmm.
Body language,
Mm.
facial expression, tone,
Yeah.
blah 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 is the 95.
Yeah.
And breaking is exactly the same. Moves is 5% of the breaking.
Yeah.
The outfit, the smile, the swag, the groove is the 95. And I don't know how in 2021 people still don't understand that we don't fucking cares about the moves. Moves are cool, but if it's in the whack package, you lose in my book and in many people's book, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So it's all about that, and they don't understand the whole package, you know?
But that to me is like that's the hard part to understand is that character and how to. But you don't get it if you don't do it and participate in the culture and learn about the roots and the history and where it comes from and why it is the way it is, which I think probably a lot of people don't do.
Yeah, a lot of
Yeah.
people don't do. But if you're at the practice and there's a beginner dude who is doing weird stuff, and he's gonna get some applause because you laughed, you know, there was something funny in
Mm-hmm.
his presentation that makes you want to clap or
Mm-hmm.
say, ah, nice.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to ask yourself, what did he do that I liked, that made me
Yeah.
clap? Oh, he
Yeah.
did this. How can I do it? Ah, yeah, actually, it was funny. At some point, he was a bit goofy, and he and he did this, you know. So
Mm-hmm.
you don't have to see breaking as a format, top rock, six step, baby freeze, power, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You have to see that let me have fun on that music. So it's an all new approach that I have. And when I go to jam sometimes, I did the Flow anniversary jam. I compete. I was in top, I don't know, whatever. First round gets intact. So for of course I lose. But one beagle came to me. Oh man, you were my favorite guy to watch the whole jam. You know.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, I won because that's my goal.
Mm-hmm.
My goal is that when people watch me dance, they laugh, they clap, they say, "Ah, shit, this guy is funny." You know.
Yeah.
I won if I do this.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
If I win with my moves, then I will be happy about my moves. But that shows nothing about who I am as a dancer. In an art performance, you have to show who you are, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want to show, you have to show your character,
Mm-hmm.
and you have to be who you are to make people like, oh yeah, I really like this guy, you know. It was dancing from the inside, because the inside was dancing too, you know, the emotions. It's not
Mm-hmm.
like a robot, you know. Sometimes you see even those b-boys that win jams, you know, I say, yeah, he's good. Yeah, he did this incredible. But I felt nothing while I was watching him.
Mm-hmm.
That's why people are still amazed by Circle King's battles at the time, because the whole people that passed prelims, the judges, because it was $7, they were like, there's something about this guy is special, you know? And what was special is that he was dancing inside, and you can see it outside, you know, like
Yeah. Yeah.
with the character and everything, you know?
Mm-hmm.
There were some dope guys that were fucking unhappy that they didn't go to the top 16 at Circle Kingz. Yeah, you dope moves, but it's not. It's 5%, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I really
Like
think.
the word that you
Yeah.
use.
Yeah. Yeah. I really think that a lot of that kind of thing, like the character, it's sort of in a lot of ways, it's like you got to figure out the true you, right? In order to have that thing inside like shine out and come out, you got to know what it is and you got to really understand it. And I think it's like a bit of the breaking history is partially to blame because it's, there was such an emphasis on like create new moves and do this kind of thing. But when you get into music and letting go and just the true essence of like breaking, from what I understand, like even the name means just go off, you know, like that is real, true, like I don't know, self exploration, self discovery. It's like almost therapeutic, right?
Yeah, and you know what? Even though you don't feel it, you can still play a character,
Mm-hmm.
and it will be okay if you plays it well. Like okay, this run I'm gonna play, whatever, because music tells me like that kind of character. But you just have to show it's almost like theater, but I'm not
Mm-hmm.
talking about doing whatever. I'm talking still breaking, but in
Yeah,
your
yeah,
emotions,
yeah.
in the way you approach the music, you have to make the music guide you on the moment. That's
Mm-hmm.
when you do like super good rounds.
Mm-hmm.
So, sometimes people were like, "Oh, they clap! Oh, what's so dope, man! I never see you did that stuff." I say, "Oh, I don't remember what did I do. I would
Mm-hmm.
just let go."
Yeah, yeah.
When you let go, it has a major impact on people that sees you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think we were talking
That's my
about
sense
this.
to the
Yeah.
topic.
But I think like we were kind of talking about this before with there was that time where um, there was the resurgence of like do the traditional style and six step and chair freeze and stuff like that. But um, only certain people really understood what you're talking about, right? Like it's not about the move. It's not about the fact that you're doing a six step or a chair freeze. It's like how the person's doing it, the way that they're doing it, the style that they put into it, the character that they do it, when they do it, like the presentation of it, the way it looks,
Exactly.
that kind of thing. And
Exactly.
yeah, not everybody gets that. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's 2021. I don't get it.
Yeah. Yeah. Something's
Cool
failing.
stuff is that $7 member were all about that.
Mm-hmm.
So when we dance now, people still think it's special.
Mm-hmm.
And we like, yeah, dude, it's not easy. It's not difficult because
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
easy to be weird and be who you are and do the stuff and just leave it.
Mm-hmm.
But even like Born, when he was like at his tops, like a superstar in the game. I remember I saw him in IB. We were in a Cypher. One guy on my crew was dancing, and he was like, "Is it $7?" Say, "Yeah, yeah, it's $7." Oh, always special guys. And my friend was doing nothing, but
Yeah.
nothing with style,
Yeah.
and just leaving the music and doing, not being shy of being who you are, or just true to himself and
Mm-hmm.
doing some funny stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And he was impressed by nothing, because you can, when you have a art sensibility, you can see when something is like, oh, that was dope.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
That
Um,
happened to our practice last week.
yeah.
Like Dan Rock from Philly, he came to Switzerland, so he's with us now.
Mm-hmm.
And one guy was a true beginner at the practice. He did some funny stuff, and there was a guy like way more trained doing some moves. And after the end, he just say hi to everybody, say hi, and he said to the beginner, "Oh, I like your style, man." And after, the other guy was watching him like, and Darren, "Yeah, I like your style too, man." But we knew he was super impressed by the beginner,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
because the beginner was free in
Yeah.
he was free in his mind.
Yeah. Well, that's always like I don't know if you've ever read anything on like Zen Buddhism and stuff like that, but that's like one thing that really stuck with me is this idea of like beginner's mind that you want to keep for forever and never think
Yeah,
like it's this way. Always approach things like a beginner, open mind, free, no preconceived notions of how it should be or shouldn't be, that kind of thing.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. If you can do that, then
It's
you can let go.
And when you let go, you don't do stuff that people do already.
Mm.
Like
Yeah.
3 days ago, I go to the practice, and one of my friend, he bring his girl to teach her moves. Like, oh, this is six step, this is blah blah, and he asked me some stuff, and I said, man, if I were you, I won't do that. I won't teach her six step. What do you mean? What do I teach her? You just teach her posture, and just you let her. There's two rules in breaking, like in footwork, like posture. and you can have your both two ends in the back at the same time. You have to switch like this. But the rest, you just she can do what she wants. Don't format her already into everybody's format. She will never stand out.
Yeah.
Just stand there, keep the posture right, and don't put your two hands in the back at the same time. And do what you want. One leg, two legs, whatever. That's it.
Yeah.
But if she starts like this, then she will be, of course, different of everybody else, because she will develop her own patterns, her own way to do, and she won't be formatted in this six step,
Mm-hmm.
baby freeze,
Mm-hmm.
top rock, and like just more free.
Yeah. Like give little, it's like guidelines, but you're not telling them exactly, right, how to do it. They fill in the
Exactly.
blanks.
And that's yeah. And if you do that, the people, they will follow the music and try to dance because they don't think.
Mm-hmm.
But if you tell somebody, yeah, footwork, okay, this leg, this leg, this leg, this leg, then he don't focus on music, he focus on his legs. So he's already starting wrong. That's why some kids, when they begin, they are really good because they listen to the music and they do whatever, but it's on the music.
Mm-hmm.
And when after 6 months, one teacher teach them moves, and then he lost the connection with the music because he's focusing on, oh, is it right what I do? Oh, is this leg here? And actually, it doesn't matter. You know, it doesn't matter if the posture is stylish and you don't do beginner mistakes, like flat hands or whatever. Then
Mm-hmm.
you're good.
Mm-hmm.
So I think all the teachers in dance schools, they should change the format because everybody is doing the same.
Right.
Like first move is always uh like posture zero and six steps,
Yeah.
and CCs
Yeah.
and top rock the same.
Yeah.
There's only one rule. Even this rule could be broken. You can do whatever you want, but it's the energy of breaking that you need. But after, you can do what you want.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's really true. There's
So
like
at the end of the day, everybody has the same tops, almost the same drop. They start with six step. That's it.
mm-hmm. But the funny thing about six step too is like when I started out, I always thought of it as like, okay, that's a move. It's six step, right? And as I got older, you start to realize like, oh yeah, it's actually just six different positions, and you can break it apart, and
Exactly.
it's all these different things, and each one can be play. You can play around with each step, each position, do all these things with it, and it's like you said, when you give, I think like some structure is good at the beginning, but too much is like you said, it's making
It's too
them
rigid.
focus
Yeah.
too much, too rigid. Yeah. And if you can
Yeah.
emphasize that connection with the music and freedom and that kind of thing,
Yeah.
yeah, you might look goofy at the beginning, but that that
Like
form
Goofy is
and
good. Who said Goofy was that good? I like
goofy,
Goofy.
yeah, I like goofy too. I meant it in the sense of like yeah, too, maybe too goofy. I don't know what
Yeah, I know. I know what you mean. I know what you
yeah,
mean.
yeah. What I mean is the the body's ability to move doesn't match what the heart wants to do, the mind wants to do, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's something that just comes with time. Like you're involved in the scene, you just surround yourself with it. It's like a language. The best way to learn it is surround yourself with it, and you learn it by immersion, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But as different as the language, you have to speak the same language. And
Mm-hmm.
actually, in breaking, it's art, so you have to try to be unique, in the
Yeah.
same language. So you have to invent your own words.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to invent your own words, you it's better you're not surrounded with people that talk the same language, because you're going to use the same words.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. um I mean, the last thing I want to ask you is just kind of curious, like, what do you think is the sort of future for breaking? Like, is competition the way? Do you think that's the way? or is it?
Competition has always been the way,
Mm-hmm.
but without organization, it was always competition that makes one guy be better on the block than the other DJ. Oh, this DJ is playing this record. Oh, let me
Mm-hmm.
this. So competition is part of our DNA.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you don't need competition to compete. You can compete in a party or whatever, but this
Mm-hmm.
is lost forever, I think.
Yeah.
But I think breaking will involve, I don't know, but there will be a challenge with Olympics and WDSF. But is people like myself and many other people keep doing real jams and funny jams where people drink and they smoke weed and they do whatever they want, and people will take graffiti and they are sensible to art.
Mm-hmm.
Then they will have some kind of balance, even though now the balance, since Red Bull came out really hard and now the Olympics, it's more like 80% versus 20%.
Hmm.
But that's why I keep doing what I do, because I want to try to have people that learn, like the competition comes to my jam or other jams and say like, oh, actually it was super funny, I had a super time. I
Mm-hmm.
make some friends, I laughed, I danced, I compete also, but it felt greater than the usual original competition that counts for Olympic points.
Yeah. Yeah. I
But
think. Go ahead.
there was two problem to that, is that people always tell me like, yeah, but skate, they keep it on the ground still now. But the problem with skate is that, the good thing with skate is that when they were showcased to the world before, in the 70s, it was a rebellious thing. So they were on the magazine smoking weed and having like burn their hair or destroy skate, going to rich properties to take their ball to skate. So they were showcased like this. So the young people coming, they had this identity. Oh, it's a bit rebel.
Mm-hmm.
But breaking, we never had any magazine to show who we really are. Like, and actually now Red Bull is doing a lot for magazine or pictures and everything, but they don't allow their athletes to be who they are,
Hmm.
because no, you can't smoke, it will be bad for the brand. No,
Mm-hmm.
you can't do this, it will be bad for the brand. So it's kind of more like adulterate version of them. And if people start instead of having the cool arty independent mind that don't want to be like everybody else, that start breaking, it will be like people like, oh, I was doing ski jumping, but yeah, I like this sport, I will do it. But they don't have the DNA to be different, to be
Hmm.
uh, rebel, to be whatever. So I think it's a bit sad that we couldn't have the opportunity to portray who we are in a deep manner. Uh, we couldn't have the opportunity to do it, and now it's a bit too late, because the media covering on breaking is like a really soft image.
Hmm. Yeah.
Maybe
It's.
the only showcase that we have was Style Wars of what a b-boy should be.
Mm-hmm. Like mass kind of
Yes,
to
like
the
the
to the world.
Henri
Yeah.
Chalfant documentary
Mm-hmm.
was this. Maybe we need an independent documentary about breakers now, that really show who we are before it's too late, just to have a blueprint for the new people to arrive on the scene, like, okay, I feel I'm like them, I want to start breaking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, that's on people in the community or someone who wants to take up that challenge, right? That's always a
Yeah,
thing, I think, is if people want something, like you said, you wanted the jam to be the way you wanted a jam that you wanted to go to, and you made it.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know, so
Maybe
people
I have to
want
document. I have to do the commentary myself.
you might have to produce this. Yeah,
Ask Red Bull, huh?
yeah.
Because I said, maybe if you come, you want, I want you to showcase the other side of Red Bull, of because I'm the Red Bull host.
Hmm.
Maybe you could follow me, like the jam that I do. I go bombing train, just people to see, like, oh shit, like I understand what's behind the host. It's like behind the b-boy. There's like something,
Yeah.
And the guy told me, I would love to, but I can't because it's not good to showcase some stuff that are against the law. And second thing, I have to do shows that bring the most likes,
Yeah.
So they produce now. People don't produce what they want. They produce what people want to see and we like.
Hmm.
So we are in a fucked up situation because
They make it for engagement, not for what they want to actually showcase. Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a big issue with current current media, right?
Yep.
Yeah. But that's
So we
why
need
it's
independent
yeah,
stuff.
exactly. So everyone is listening. If there's some videographer out there, take up the mantle and go and follow Amjad on his daily life or whatever, bombing trains.
If you remember Break Vision,
Yeah, yeah.
it was a bit like, they were following people and you can really see them because they were talking.
Mm-hmm.
If you, for example, I had the Rocks Ride DVD
Mm-hmm.
and it's Rock Ride dancing for 60 minutes or 46 minutes.
Yeah,
He's not talking one word.
yeah.
So he's breaking, but you don't know nothing about story behind the man.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I always loved the Mr. Wiggles video
Yeah,
because in his video he was always talking, and you could have a bit more understanding of what is a b-boy.
mm-hmm.
It's not only moves on a tape, it's like people is talking to you, like make you realize how this and this, okay.
Yeah.
I remember when we had a private workshop with Alien Ness in 2006 maybe,
Mm-hmm.
and we were like, yeah, we're gonna meet Alien Ness, perfect, like so dope. So we do 6 step all the way back, or like a training.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the workshop, I'm like, okay, it was good, but yeah, it was good, but yeah, okay. And after it was like, you guys have time, yeah, he start telling a story about something. We were just stretching on the side, and he start talking, and he talked for 2 hours.
Yeah,
And in these 2 hours, I understand 10 years of breaking.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
But showing moves, you understand nothing. Fine, you
yeah.
understand a bit, but not so much.
Mm-hmm.
So it's important that b-boys can tell the story and go deep into who they are for young people to like, okay, I understand, like
Mm-hmm.
I understand better now
Mm-hmm.
why, how, and the background.
Yeah, like that's kind of one of the point of this podcast too, is to give people, lots of people get do interviews and things like that, but hopefully in this like longer form, you can go
Yeah,
deeper, you can go
yeah,
longer, you know. And
yeah,
like I don't want to choose that's one of the reasons why I wanted to talk with you, is because you're one of the people that um is not just about, okay, like let's the sports side or the moves, or you're known because you won this jam. You're known because like you're carrying on tradition, you care about the culture, you care about, and not just breaking, you care about like hip hop culture, you care about presenting it right, you care about passing on the stuff the right way, in the best way that you can. You care about connecting with people, and I think that's so important too. Like community
That's
and
life.
yeah, yeah.
Connection with people.
That's
And
everything.
this hip hop world gave me so much that I want young people to experience the same, you know? Like it it could have gave me because it's funny because when you say Amjad to what who you ask, you can have different question. Yeah, the host, and people they don't know that I break. Some people don't know that I break. Yeah, the b-boy, and some are yeah, the graffiti writer. He used to DJ at that club, and you can have artistic facets with everything we have. You know, like it's really funny. It keeps you alive, and if you get skills in whatever elements, then it could be your work after. You know, like massive graffiti fresque or just being host everywhere or whatever. You know, be
Yeah,
good with words
yeah,
and fight your shyness and everything. You know, it brings you so much.
yeah. There's more than just moves.
Yes, way more than just moves. I think that should be the name of the podcast. Way more than just moves.
Why? That's why it's called, yeah, beyond the dance floor. You look at what's past
It's
that.
beyond the sport.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So,
yeah.
um,
But it's funny, and if you do other elements of hip hop, you'll understand that it's all the same. Like the same graffiti is exactly the same as breaking, with the same trend at the same moments. Like people go back to basics, like doing New York style and blah blah blah, and everybody doing the same. Like everything is the same. It's super funny to see all the similarities.
yeah, yeah. That's another part of this podcast that I try and talk about and get people to talk about is like, yeah, how does it connect to other stuff and other parts of your life or other things that you're doing? And yeah, it's all, like you said, it's all kind of the same. It's all connected. It's all together. Yeah.
Yeah. If I
Um,
can give one piece of advice that I witnessed during the years is that people that want to make a living of their art are in trouble because they might lose the love because they have to do some stuff they don't want to do, you know, like they have to accept jobs that are super boring and might quit the fire inside them. The
yeah.
goal, if you want to pursue your art, is maybe to have a real job and do only the stuff that you love. Because every time you do something that you love, it's light a fire in you. And every time you do something that you don't like with your art, because you have to, it's it make it disappear.
Yeah.
And when it's gone, then you oh fuck it, I go to regular life, you know. So I think it's better to have a normal job and then do your art on the side. And when it's really good, your art with times, don't don't take 5 years, take more 15 years, you know. And when it's super mature, then you can only accept the job that you like, that keeps the fire up, and then you can say no to stuff. Now I don't need this, you know. I have a regular job.
Yeah.
I think it's better to keep, because many of the decisions that I've made would have been different if I had to depend financially from what I do, you know. So I think that's one of the part of the success story is not to rely on likes and money of gigs, but more like do exactly what you want and take the time to do what you like on the side, but exactly how you want to keep the fire alive, you know.
Yeah, that's a good message, I think. I think it's a good spot to finish up.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah,
Thanks for
really,
having me.
yeah, really, really appreciate it. just taking the time. I know you're very busy with everything and family and organizing stuff, and
Yeah,
yeah,
I
just
take the first guest tonight. DJ One Up is coming.
yeah, nice.
So
Well, yeah, good luck with everything on the
yeah,
weekend,
thank you.
and thank you everyone for listening and watching, and we'll catch you on the next one. Peace, everybody.
Hi. Peace.